FX3 Trimmer. This is a beauty. This has got the same motor in it as the original FX trimmer that you see everywhere, that gold FX, black FX, and is just trimmer of the year. Everybody knows its performance, super powerful, super tight lines. This is that machine, but slimmer, lighter, more ergonomic, different angle on the blade, so it's a little more comfortable when you're doing a balled out. Crazy close, too close in fact. We have had a few people pick these up and come back and say they diced their client. Because even though it looks like it's still safe, if we zoom in, you can see how ridiculously close that is out of the box. Not only is it ridiculously close, but the blade is ridiculously thin. So when it comes out of the box close like that, there's a good chance if you're doing under a chin or you're coming in at a right angle on a neckline, you're gonna chop somebody up. So we must move this blade back, and included in your FX3 box is your little Torx driver. The easiest way to move your blade back is to simply loosen your two blade adjustment screws. And once you've got those loosened up, your blade is gonna move back. So I've drawn that all the way back, which is ridiculously open. Nobody would use their blade that open, but on this machine, on this blade, it is so thin that you might even be able to get away with a decent trim with your blade that open. But I'm gonna close it a little bit, and I just use my fingers to push it up a bit and then align it. Just give it a little push here and there on either side. And I think that this is a pretty nice gap for this machine. You might even want to go a little bit wider. And then if you still find you're not getting those tight lines and you feel it's still safe, you can maybe move it a little bit closer. But once you get it where you want it, then I loosely tighten the two Torx adjustment screws and then tighten a little harder. Tighten a little harder, just kind of back and forth until you get to the point where it is fully tightened up. And you can see it's tipped a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a push back down there so that it sits properly, and then retighten it. So yeah, you get it nice and straight. Now this machine as well, you want to charge for 3 full hours before you even turn it on the first time. And then the 2 successive charges, the next 2 charges, you want to charge for 3 hours as well. That's true with the FX3 foil shaver, which is also an amazing shaver. The FX3 trimmer shaver dual, amazing. Just make sure you charge them for 3 hours before using them the first time, and then the next 2 charging cycles, 3 hours. You don't have to wait until the machine is completely drained. You have an LED battery indicator here. Once it gets down to maybe 2 or 1 LED, then charge it for another 3 hours. For the first 3 times, after that, it can be on and off the charger at will. But 4-hour runtime on both this and the shaver. The shaver might be a 3-hour runtime, but it's amazing that these guys just have tremendous battery runtime. We now have the replacement blades in stock. The only difference is that now the replacement blades actually have the FX3 logo on the blade. So the original machines don't come with the logo. I'm assuming that once we get the new machines, they'll have the FX3 logo on them. You can also adjust if you have a hard time adjusting the blade on the machine, you can take the blade off. It's simple. Two Phillips screws. You take them out. You have the blade free, and then you loosen your torque screws, move it back, adjust it this way, and then just the 2 screws, throw it back on the machine. All the machines that we have that don't have the tape on them, we've adjusted them back already, so they're ready to go. And then we'll have some other machines that do have the tape on them for you barbers that want to have it 000 gapped, and then you can adjust it yourself. But there's not too many barbers I know of that are comfortable using these machines straight out of the box. They're just too darn tight. You have to have a really soft touch. Generally speaking, you have to have a really soft touch when you're using all the current trimmers. But these ones, it would just be like feather. You don't even touch the skin. You'd have to just airbrush the skin in order to prevent cutting people. But once you have them set right, one heck of a trimmer.